This is Metal for the Masses, the only place that plays it harder, faster, and louder than anybody else on live365.com. I am joined here by a wonderful man, a man who actually reached out to me first. His name is Gavin Kerr. He is from the great state of Ohio. Uh, Correct?
Yeah. Cleveland,
Yes,
Ohio.
awesome. Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, Cleveland. And he is a member of the band called Kissing Lilith. And before I just go on talking, Mr. Gavin, introduce yourself, introduce your band, introduce as we were saying before the show started, the wonderful gentlemen that all have day jobs and couldn't be here.
Yeah. So my name is Gavin Kerr. I'm the lead singer of the band Kissing Lilith. We're from Cleveland, Ohio. Right now, our official members are Cody Miller, co-founder and guitarist of the band, and then we also have Zach Zalotti, our new bassist of the band. We have not made any official post about him yet, but we have posted photos of him playing with us live on stage. We started writing together, and now you have me officially saying that he's in the band. We do also have a drummer in the works. But the official announcement on that will be made probably after the Cleveland Music Awards and our first music video.
When's all that happening? Because this interview, you know, we're
Yeah,
recording this today. This
it,
will air in a week, but
it's all happening right now. So this weekend, I'm getting married. Very excited for that. And then next weekend, we are shooting our first music video where I will be performing Flesh Suspension. We're going to put four hooks in my back and hang me from the ceiling, and then we're going to set me on fire. So we can talk a bit more about that. And then also, the next weekend after that. Oh no, that same weekend. So next weekend, still, we are playing on the 23rd a showcase for the Cleveland Music Awards at the Roxy in Lakewood, Ohio, with the other bands that we are competing against for Best Alternative Band category of the Cleveland Music Awards. The Cleveland Music Awards themselves are going to be held at the Agora February 1st. That is in Cleveland, Ohio. So we're going for Best Alternative Band right now. We're trying to get as many votes as we can to win.
so I just want to that is all amazing, and we're going to talk about all of this in this interview. But I want to get the elephant in the room out of the way first. We're setting you on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Uh,
the easiest part of the video. I mean, there's that. There's some demons and angels. There's a blood orgy scene. I've had every part of my body set on fire voluntarily. So I'm
so
very calm
so what's
about
the
that.
process then? Like they're not just we're not just Salem witch trialing you and setting you on fire. Obviously, there's some protective measures that are going,
I
into
mean,
this kind of
pretty
thing.
much we're going to Salem witch trial me. Yeah. So it's this gel. It's three different gels. There is a coolant gel that will go on all of my skin and that will sink in for a couple minutes. And then there are two topical gels after that that get mixed together. And that is another protective barrier, but then also is extremely flammable. And that will be put on all the areas that we're going to be setting fire. So on my legs, parts of my arms, probably my shoulders, bit my head, stuff like that. And then Cody is literally just going to drop a candle on me. His character will be standing behind me while I'm in my throne, and he's just going to drop a candle on me, and it's going to light up half my body. And I'll be on
Man.
fire for about a minute, 2 minutes, and then there'll be about foot and a half flames.
Well, you know what? I could never willingly do that, even if it's all, up to code and safe like that with the topical gels and whatnot. I'm sitting here going like, how do you mentally prepare yourself knowing that like, I'm going to be set on fire? Because it's so against like human nature where it's just like fire, it's warm, don't touch it, don't get set on fire. Like,
Yeah, so when
how do we get
I
past that
was,
mental barrier?
when I was, I want to say, I was probably about 15 at the time, maybe 16. I was around 15 years old. I got set on fire in a bonfire accident. I was setting the bonfire next door for the neighbors. Every Sunday they would throw a party for the Browns game. I didn't care much for football, but they had free food, so that was nice. And I would go over there and I was setting up the bonfire. It had rained the night previously, so all the wood was wet. I didn't have any good tinder. I went in the garage to grab a can of what I thought was oil, and it was gasoline. And so when I got the fire started, I went to pour what I thought was oil on there and it ended up being gas. It ran to the tube, but thankfully on most gas cans, not all, but a lot of them, that yellow nozzle is safety plastic, is a very, very low melting point. So it closed, but not before I threw it and I splashed my face and chest with gasoline and caught myself on fire. I stopped, dropped, and rolled immediately, and my neighbor got on top of me and beat the flame off of me. I had nearly third-degree burns on my face and chest, and one thing that I really didn't talk about until after I had gotten through it was I had horrific PTSD from it. I couldn't be around large flames. I couldn't be around open fuels. Like I just would go into a panic attack. I remember watching a movie with my parents at the time, some movie about a storm, and there was a fire tornado. Like a tornado came and blew up a gas station, and a guy got sucked into it, and he's burned alive in it. And when that happened, when I saw him get, sucked in that fire tornado and burned alive, I remember what it felt like to be completely on fire. And I just remember shaking on the couch, freaking out, trying not to stop, drop, and roll right then and there. And after, probably 6 months of this, I thought to myself, I'm not going to be able to pump gas. I'm not going to be able to go to bonfires and parties with friends, which is very big here in Ohio. I'm not going to be able to do a lot of just everyday things because of this. And I need to figure out how to get over it. So one day I was scrolling through social media and I saw a guy doing fire eating, and I thought to myself, fuck that guy, I can do this. And so I went to YouTube and just started researching the hell out of it. And I went online and I bought some fire torches off Amazon, and then I researched the type of fuel to get, and I went to Walmart and I got the fuel, and I went to my parents' garage. I didn't tell anyone. I was like, I'm either going to overcome this trauma and this fear and this damage, or I'm going to kill myself in my parents' garage. And thankfully, I'm still here today. Sorry, Mom. I've told her this story before a couple times. She hates it, but I can always tell there's a little sense of pride that I was able to get over that the way that I did. I'm very big on exposure therapy. So after that, I got really into not only fire eating, but then also fire breathing and then fleshing. And fleshing is my favorite, funny enough. Fleshing is when you purposefully set yourself on fire. So when I say that I've had every part of my body set on fire, I literally mean, I've gotten fire massages where they've taken torches and butane bubbles and they've lit my whole body on fire one part at a time before, and then they like take an ice cube and they run it on your body and it melts away because your body traps all that energy and that heat. Because that's all that fire is. It's just pure energy. And so I've really just gotten comfortable with respecting and understanding the flame and thermal dynamics and how much time I actually have before I get burned. Because when someone gets set on fire and they're not familiar with the principles of it and the physics behind it, they immediately think, "Oh my God, I'm getting burned. Oh my God!" But no, you have several seconds depending on the environment, depending on what you're wearing, depending on how hydrated you are, that will prevent you from getting burned. And you just learn how to understand and manipulate these things in order to pull off these crazy stunts. And so that's how I've gotten over it.
So,
It's been a lot of exposure therapy.
so how much time do I have before I get burned alive if I live on a steady diet of Camel menthol cigarettes and Monster energy drinks?
You're gonna go up like a Christmas tree. Sorry to say. No, 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 no. I mean, so if you're doing fleshing, like let's say you're setting your hand on fire. So because of the moisture in your skin and the temperature difference between the flame itself and your skin, on top of that, heat rises. So you're going to set the top of your hand on fire with a torch or whatever it may be. You automatically have about a second to maybe 2 seconds before you get burned, like a full second, second and a half before you get burned. Now, when you're doing with butane bubbles, so I won't tell anyone how to make this because first off, don't try any of this at home. Please go to a professional if you do decide to get into any kind of fire performing. It is dangerous. You can get hurt. You can die. There's my
And
disclaimer.
I'm just another full disclaimer. The professional that you should reach out to, his name is Gavin Kerr of the band Kissing Lilith. His going rate is I want to say it's about 24 an hour. So
It's a
you're
very
going
modest rate.
a modest rate in the
Yeah.
year of our Lord 2026.
Uh,
Not enough to buy a house or a two-bay garage or anything that our parents had, but it's enough to afford a Happy Meal these days. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But so like let's say you're using the butane bubbles. With the butane bubbles, there's water involved. The bubbles are usually in a bucket full of water. So when you go and you scoop those up, now you have a layer of water on your skin. It might not be very, very, saturated, but you still have that little bit of protection. And then the temperature difference as well. The water might be 60 degrees or so, which is significantly cooler than your natural body temperature. So now you've taken that second and a half, and you've turned it into 3, 4, maybe even 5 seconds, depending on your tolerance and how much experience you have. Same thing with doing like fire eating. So when you're usually taking the flame, you're holding the torch straight up, your mouth is open, the heat is rising, and your mouth is just full of moisture. So not only is the heat rising, it's not radiating out quite as much. So that's going to give you a couple of seconds. So you have that natural skin barrier, gives you like a second or so, and then you have all the moisture in your mouth. So in reality, right there, you have, a good 3 to 4 seconds starting out before you get really comfortable with it, before you're actually getting burned.
So can you do the I'm assuming you're very, capable of doing this. Do you just do like the spitting technique, or like can you do like the like I almost like call it like a dragon flame because it's like
Oh,
it's
all of it. Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
okay.
I'm not super advanced as far as the techniques, but I am diverse as far as what I'm able to do. So like I said, I really enjoy the fleshing. I've gotten pretty decent at the fire breathing. I can spit about a 10 to 15 foot flame right now. And then for the fire eating itself, there's a couple advanced tricks that I know. Like there's one where when the flame is going, it's releasing fumes, and those fumes are flammable. So if you take the torch, you hold it straight up. There's a way to hold the torch in your mouth to where those fumes build up in the back of your mouth around your soft palate, and then you pull the flame away, and you still have a flame. You're basically like a human torch. And then you can use
Okay.
that for transfers. There are other torches. I don't have one. I would like to get into one. There are other torches where they're hollow through the center, so you can actually not inhale, but suck on someone's like smoking a cigar, those
Yeah.
fumes from a lit flame, and then you're able to hold those fumes in your mouth, not lit, and then blow them out with a flame similar to like a dragon.
Nice. So and
Yeah.
for your day job, you're a firefighter, right?
No, no, actually,
Okay.
I was looking into being a firefighter, but they do not get paid nearly enough for what they do. And also, with how everything is made synthetically now, most of them die of cancer at a very young age. And I got stuff to
Yes.
do. So,
Yes, true.
yeah.
But like
Yeah, so
your
dying of
knowledge.
cancer at the age of 35 while also making 35K a year did not sound like a great time to me.
No, it doesn't. But at the same
Mhm.
time, your knowledge of fire seems to be very beneficial to a field that way. That's why I just wanted to be like, I mean, if this guy's not a firefighter, I don't know what he's doing. Like
Yeah.
he
I
knows.
mean, I don't need to be a firefighter to tell people, hey, don't play with it, you know?
You'd be surprised nowadays in the year of our Lord 2026. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
so I'm glad that we could get this educational part of the show out of the way. It's
Yeah,
time
yeah,
to get.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's
I
time.
like I said, I'm not nervous about the fire at all. The flesh suspension I'm nervous about. I've never done that. So that one I'm a bit nervous about.
And that's the what you have going on coming up, right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm doing both of these in the same day.
Oh Lord.
The flesh suspension is going to be 4 meat hooks in my back through, it's going to go through my skin and the first layer of fat, and I'll have 4 of those in me, and then we will hoist me up. So I'll be fully suspended off the ground about 4 feet, with my
And
skin stretching.
that's not going to hit like any like muscles or tendons or anything like that. It's just going to be
No, no. So viewer discretion is advised. The way that it works is you go through the hook goes through the first or all the skin and then the layer of fat. It doesn't actually go through the muscle. So they pierce you and then they put the hook through and then you do what's called skin stretching. So that way I don't pass out from adrenaline. So basically they'll put the hooks in and then I'll be tied to an anchor of some sorts, and I would gently lean forward, and I'll feel what it's like to have my fat separated from the muscle, similar to like Velcro being ripped apart. And so I'll do that. My body will flood with adrenaline, and then I'll have to calm down, and I'll have to just go through that adrenaline process while I do that first stretch, and then I'll do a further stretch. And it'll stretch it even more, and I'll get a second flood of adrenaline. And
oh
so basically what I do is I'm fully dumping my body's adrenaline. And then after I calm down from that, then we'll hoist me up and I'll do the full stretch and the full suspension. And it's supposed to be an extremely euphoric experience because your body is just being flooded with all those chemicals all at once. Everyone that I've talked to about it, they've said that is one of the most amazing experiences of their life. My one buddy, Jay, he said that it is like the best sex you could ever have. It's such a crazy experience for your body to go through that. So I am nervous, but I'm very excited. And I love talking about it
I
because that
I
helps
I
me
can
process
see how
everything that's
excited
going
you
on.
are, and that's that.
Yeah,
I, excuse my facial expressions the entire time you were explaining that.
yeah, it's fine.
It's genuinely interesting, but how excited you're getting is why I'm kind
Yeah.
of giggling a little bit because I'm just sitting here going like, I wouldn't be excited to have meat hooks thrown in me at all. This man's like, I can't wait. This is
I'm
gonna
trying
be
to see. They
the
might
best
be
sex I've
on
ever
there.
had.
Trying to see. I
Oh,
can't.
don't
I
I
don't see
don't
the song
I don't
off the top of my
the
head.
viewers at home don't the viewers at home don't need to see the visual representation of the hook. We're I think we
Somewhere
can
around here is the box with the hooks in it. I do need to make sure that
oh,
I know where that is. But they're thick. They're probably about as thick as a mechanical pencil.
oh boy. I
Yeah.
That's what I was envisioning. I was envisioning like the kind of hook like from the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
I'm envisioning one of those.
Not quite that big.
Okay.
The carabiners at like a Planet Fitness, like at the gym.
Okay. Like something
Yeah,
like that.
they're about that thick. So they're good. They're 16 they're 16 gauge. So whatever that is.
All right.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah.
Well, you know what,
Big.
brother? That's you're a better man than me. I don't think I could have I don't think
I
I
don't think
could
I'm better. I think I'm just mental. Yeah.
it you know
I
what?
wanted
You're
to
more
do
meant
something I
but you
wanted
know
to do
what? I
something
think
for a
that
music video
I
that no one else would do.
and you know what? I think that makes you a better man than most people because I mean like hey, like you're going to get to, such an age later on down the line and you can look back and like I don't know if you plan on having like, grandkids or anything like that
Absolutely.
or just yeah, you just get to yo, you know, little little so and so walks up, be like, yo, like, granddad, what did you do when you were young? Well, I was in a fucking, metal band. I set myself on fire. Meat hooks put in me, like,
Yeah.
you're that relative. And
Yeah, everything. My kids and my grandkids and when they ask me what did you do in your life? I'll get the unfortunate honor of telling them everything. And why I say unfortunate honor because I really do want to experience, everything that I can, good and bad. I'm a big believer in balance, and I'm a very big believer in balance of perspective in the sense of there's a lot of really awful things that have happened in my life that I wish didn't, but I'm grateful that they did because it has allowed me to walk through the world with the perspective and the appreciation that I have now.
that's amazing, brother.
I'm
So I want to move on. We've talked about you and, the amazing experiences that you have had and you're going to continue to have. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Let's talk more about the band. Let's talk more about your recent accolades, what you guys are planning to do. You guys just came out with a new track. Let's talk about that. Wherever you want to start, I'd say let's start with the other members of the band right now. You said that you guys got a new bass player, a drummer is on the way.
Yeah.
Uh, let's start with that. How'd you guys form and what happened to the other guys?
Yeah. So the way that the band formed originally, I had lost everything in my life and I was homeless at the time. I was couch hopping. I started dating a woman who lived in Florida and was contemplating moving out there. I went to go stay with her for a week to see if I would enjoy living out there and if that's the relationship that I wanted. And during that time, I saw Cody Miller had posted on Facebook an ad looking for a vocalist for his band Ozolith. So I reached out and I said, like, hey, I'm in Florida right now. And he's like, oh, I'm in Florida right now. I was like, well, fuck, do you want to get together? And the schedules didn't line up, but it was cool that we were both there and that kind of made conversation a bit easier. And I told him, like, hey, when you get back, I'm coming back at this time. I'd love to audition for your band. So I set that up and I went to audition, went really well. I got a call back and I ended up not getting the part,
Oh,
which kind of killed my confidence because the band that I was in previously uh, had the lead singer had fired me for being too young and inexperienced to go to the next level with them, which was beyond infuriating and heartbreaking and just a complete blow to my ego. We had just won a Cleveland Music Award for Best Alternative Band, and we were getting ready to play Incarceration, which is why those have both been huge goals of mine with this project to show that he was absolutely wrong and that I more than belong on the stage entertaining people. So that's this kind of passion that I've carried with me throughout this project. And when I didn't get the Ozolith position and I had already decided that I wasn't moving to Florida, I just kind of felt in limbo and I was really just lost. But Cody reached out to me again almost immediately after he told me that I didn't get the position, saying, "Hey, I don't agree with this. I want to do something with you. Let's write music together. I'm still going to do Ozolith in my band, but I want to write something with you." And at first, I was just like, "Oh, yeah, cool, let's do something." Because everybody in the music scene says, "Oh, yeah, hey, we should do so. Hey, we should do a project. Hey, we should do a show together." Hey, you always hear that. And 90% of the time, it's bullshit. So when Cody sent me 12 or 15 guitar tracks, I just was just this huge flood of joy. I was like, oh my God, he fucking believes in me. Like this guy actually takes me seriously and actually sees something here enough to put in the time to reach out and to follow through. We started writing demos. I picked the 3 songs that really spoke out to me out of all the tracks that he sent. We fleshed them out. We started writing demos. We got done with Kiss Me, Kill Me. And I remember looking at him and saying, hey, we're at his house. It's like 9, 10 o'clock. I look at him like, hey, do you want to hear the vocal demo for the other song that I wrote? And he looks up at me, he's sitting in his chair, looks at me, goes, no. And I was just kind of taken aback because it was very straightforward. It wasn't malice. It wasn't kind. It wasn't mean. It was just very just matter of fact. And he goes, before I can say anything, he goes, I just really want to focus on this right now, and then we'll move on. And in that moment, I gained so much respect for him because he knew exactly what he wanted. And he was just so goal oriented, and that really motivated me. And that showed me even further that this guy's opinion matters to me because it matters to him.
yeah.
So we went to Brandon Folsom in his personal studio. We recorded Lipstick and Gasoline. Before we released it, Cody sent me a video for the DK MBA Music Business Academy on YouTube, and it was how to release a song in 30 days. And I just fell into this rabbit hole and I started studying music marketing, social media marketing, how to release music, how to talk to fans, how to network, just everything that I could about the music community, just started soaking it all in and really learning the business. And we released the song, and it didn't, I'm not going to say and be like, oh, we got 1 million views the next day. Like, no, it wasn't like that. But we saw traction. People responded well to it. Majority of people enjoyed it than not. And we thought, okay, we have something here. Let's see what we can do with another song. And then we went to another studio. Brandon was going through a move, so we ended up going to another studio, and we started working there. We did not what tonight, but we did what is it? More Than Worth It. And I really wanted to make a song for the audience to sing back to us. And it was still just me and Cody at the time. We had a session drummer that would write the drum parts for us, but Cody's writing the instrumental. I'm writing all the lyrics and the vocal melodies, and we still work that way now. And so we did More Than Worth It. We put it out there. We get more response. Now we have a sense of direction. Now people are starting to understand more of what we're about. And the second release was significantly better than the first release. So like, okay, let's do another one. And now we're with Scooter Allen. He does all of our recording and mixing and producing. Rewire Studios, unbelievably talented, amazing guy. I worked with Scooter in my first band when I was in high school, and I just thought to myself, this is the dude. And he has been on the absolute grind since then. So the fact that I get to work with him now on this project, it's just amazing. And that's when we recorded Kiss Me, Kill Me. Again, it was just me and Cody. We started auditioning people. Nobody had taken the bassist or drummer role yet. So it's me and Cody in the studio. with Kiss Me Kill Me specifically, we were just having so much trouble with the chorus. We couldn't figure out the melody. Things were out of my range. They were uncomfortable or awkward or just didn't really fit. And Scooter looks at us and he says, "Hey guys, we're gonna get rid of this chorus because it doesn't feel like a chorus. It feels like a pre-chorus or a bridge. We need to write a chorus for this song." So Scooter, Cody, and then Colin. He works at the studio as well. He does songwriting. The three of them sat down and they start rewriting the chorus completely. And I'm sitting there just listening over and over and over again. And out of nowhere, I just get this melody. And I'm just like starting to like really get it. And I grab my notebook and I start fucking chicken scratching all over the page. And they get done, and I'm like, oh, I'm shaking. I'm like, oh my God, as soon as they have it, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. And they get done recording the new chorus. And I'm like, hey guys, Scooter, hit record. I got an idea. And I get up on stage. Or not on stage, I get up to the microphone, but in my mind, I'm on stage. I get to the microphone and I start just bouncing out. I can feel it bleeding from the inside. And I get through the whole chorus and I just held that last note as long as I could. And I'm like a little lightheaded afterwards. And they look at me and they go, "That's it! Oh my God, that's it! That fucks! That is crazy!" And I go, "Oh, that's it! That's so exciting! Play it back to me because I just forgot it." Like the first time that you hear the first time that you hear Kiss Me Kill Me, or not the first time, when you hear Kiss Me Kill Me, the chorus, that's the first time I ever sang it. It was literally lightning in a bottle when we got it. And so I had to relearn this new chorus that I just written so that way I could start figuring out harmonies to it and I could figure out what the main melody is and just building it all up together. And we released that song and it was such a different experience from the other songs because not only did we have that moment of that lightning in a bottle? Not only did we have Scooter Allen, who is again such an amazingly talented producer and recording artist, but the way that people resonated with the lyrics, the way that they felt the beats, it was just the right amount of familiar from other bands and other songs from the early 2000s with the right amount of, hey, this is something new. And it just really just sent us to that next level of not being a local band, but being a local band that people believed in. And I know to a lot of people listening, that might not seem like much, but in my mind, the difference between being a local band and a local band that people believe in is the difference between being a local band and a touring band. To have other people believe in you and to follow you and to want to see you grow, that there's nothing more rewarding than that. And that is exactly the push that we needed to say, hey, this is going to work and there's nothing that can stop us. It could be just me and Cody. It will work. It could be
Yep.
us and the entire team. It will work. It will work. And so
So
we
there's
started getting ready to write more music. And I put together an EPK. I started to continue down the rabbit hole of music marketing and everything. And we got our first show. We got a slot at High Spirits Festival in Columbus, Ohio. Um, it was 6 months out. We had three songs written and only two members. And we said, yeah, we can be ready by then. And we were. We found some session people to come in. We were still hosting auditions, but we didn't quite get anyone ready for the show yet. So we had our session people come in. We did have a drummer at one point, Doyle Rudolph. Fantastic drummer, amazing human being. They have some medical issues with their joints that doesn't allow them to play the genre anymore, unfortunately. So they had to step down from the kit, and that's what brought us back to where we are now, still looking for our drummer. But we did end up finding Zach Zalotti in this process, and he has played two shows. He did not play the first show with us at High Spirits Fest, but he did play the Halloween show with us in Lakewood with Vampires Everywhere and Another Day Dawns. And then he did also play. We did a show in what was it? Um, Damn, I cannot remember exactly where it was. It was in Southern Ohio. We played a show that got us on the Rock Out Camp Out next year that we will be playing, which is a huge camping festival. It's a big food drive. They raise they have everybody bringing cans of food for ticket price, and they raise just thousands of pounds of food that gets donated at the end of it. So that's why we wanted that smaller show, was to get that bigger show. Zach, when he came in to play bass, he just blew us away. Not only did he learn the songs that we taught him to learn, he learned them perfectly note from note by ear, because we don't have tabs, we don't have videos on how to play our things. He learned it all by ear, and then just absolutely killed a cover of Thousand Foot Crunch. I can't remember which song it was, but he played our music and the cover song that he chose so well. I could close my eyes and it just sounded like he turned the bass up. I actually felt bad because there was another gentleman, very, very, very nice guy, came in while he was still doing his performance or his audition. And the guy looked at me and was all like, oh, I mean, clearly he gets the role, you know.
Your
Sorry about
sir,
that.
your phone is ringing.
Yeah, I did hear that. Some of that. Let me get the notifications that should have been off already. I do apologize.
No problem.
Let's see. Oh, 1 second. That should have been on Do Not Disturb. Terribly sorry about that.
It's all
Right.
right. It would have been very entertaining if you answered a call live on an interview. That would be a first.
No, I don't want to be rude.
Uh, but
So
just if I
yes, so,
may, if I may, real fast. So because
yeah, yeah,
this is a lot, and it's
yeah. I'm throwing so
awesome.
much information at you. Please go ahead.
It's so great, dude. No, like this is how I want interviews to be, because like I don't come into like these interviews because like I want these to be just as fluent of a process as possible, because
Yeah,
I hate sitting down like the clipboard interviews, like the people that just go through topics and it's like no, like I want the person that I'm sitting here interviewing to do most of this talking. So this is great.
yeah. Don't
Like
talk
I
about
should
it.
just be interjecting as little as possible. But what I wanted to go back to, because you were saying how great it is to have people like just sitting here fucking believing in you the entire time,
Yeah,
as opposed to just doing all this shit and not knowing, if you guys are doing the right thing. Like there is no greater feeling than just having not just like a fan base, but like a fan base that fucking believes in you guys, like is following you
yeah,
guys, believes that you guys can hit like, these higher goals. That's the kind of stuff that, as, if you're doing what I do, is just like doing a show. And like I always jokingly say, I'm just some prick on the internet. Uh, you guys just out here doing your own thing. Uh, just having somebody that fucking believes in you, man. Like there's no mountain you cannot scale. There's no far off planet that you cannot reach. It's just like if somebody just is like, you can do it. You're just like, you know what? This person, this other random individual has put their lot in with me, so I can't fail. So that's
yeah.
that's all that's all I wanted to say. I mean, like that's just absolutely
I mean,
amazing to me.
it's so much more than that. It's not even that we have a fan base. We really do have a community. When I look at, when I post, I all the time I see regular people in there commenting like, "Oh my God, this is so exciting! Congratulations!" Asking questions, and then I message about 100 people plus a day. Either I'm responding to people, or anytime somebody follows, if their account is not private, I will reach out to them. I'll send a message saying, "Hey, my name is Gavin. Thank you so much for following. It really does mean the absolute world to us." I tell a little bit about our story. I ask where they're from, and I keep track of that too. I got a huge spreadsheet of just, each state, how many fans we have in each one, because I want to know where our fan base is and where we need to focus on building a fan base. Because I really want to meet everybody. The coolest thing about the shows, we've done 3 shows so far. Um, every show that we've done for our very actually fuck all that. Our first show that we did, High Spirits Fest, it was in Columbus, Ohio. So it's about 2 to 3 hours away, depending on where you live in Ohio, either Akron or Cleveland. So it's about 2 to 3 hours away from us. Tickets were $80, and we played at 11 a.m. We had about 60 people there for us, already wearing merchandise of ours that they bought online. Before we played a single note on stage, we had an audience there for us, wearing our merchandise, singing our songs. And I cannot be more fucking grateful. We have had people that have traveled the 3 hours from Cleveland to Columbus or Columbus to Cleveland to make sure that they've seen every one of our shows so far. We have so many people who are fans of ours that are going to be in this music video coming up for the Blood Orgy scene, which is insane to think about. Like that sentence is fucking mental. We have a whole bunch of fans of ours coming in our first music video, coming to our first music video to be in a blood orgy scene, in a video where we're
So
going to set me on fire and hang me by my flesh. Insane.
so so we're gonna
Yes.
set you on fire, hang you by your flesh. The blood orgy scene. PG 13, rated R. What are we looking at here?
Rated R. Yeah, there would be definitely nudity. Yeah, there's gonna be
Okay.
nudity. Nobody will be actually having sex in it or anything like that. Some people have covers, some people wear BDSM gear, but I mean, we're definitely gonna push the limits as far as what we're able to do. Think of it like a Marilyn Manson video. I mean, he did in the video Saint. He's jerking off and cutting himself and everything like that.
Yeah.
So if he can get away with that, then we will make sure people see this video. And my
Yep.
goal is for this video to be the most ambitious video that an artist, that a musician has ever done. That's what I want this music video. I want Ronnie Radke to see this video and be like, who the fuck are these guys? He doesn't even have to like the music. I don't care. The way that I've set up this next song, the way that we have set up this next song, um, people are either going to fall in love with the song or they're going to fall in love with the music. They're just going to be obsessed with one of them. I hope it's both every time. But I've really made sure, and Cody's really made sure, that the music is there, that the visuals are there, that the story is there, because there is a very, very clear storyline throughout this music video that people will not be able to look away. I want, once you're done watching, I want you to feel that relief after a really hard cry, after just sobbing that final, just that's the feeling that I want to provoke from this next song and from this music video. For the song's called "What to Die For," and I'm
Okay.
really, really excited to just give people that safe environment to feel that tense vulnerability and that release and pressure by the end of it.
That's fucking awesome. I don't know. I really just don't know what else to fucking follow that with, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just I feel like I've gotten everything from you. The only real thing that's left to talk about is you guys are I I believe from what you're looking for to be best alternative band you guys are talking about,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Best, yeah,
Awesome.
we got,
Let's talk about that. Let's talk
yeah.
about that. You can tell that I actually read all of the prompts that you sent me. You guys sent me
I
I love
appreciate
the
that.
little poster you guys sent me in the I sat there and I I tried to digest all of it. Like I
You're
said
good.
earlier,
You're
I
good. I
don't just
appreciate
sit
that you
here
paid
and do
attention. I
like
always want
clip.
to make sure that if we're, especially when I'm reaching out to people to interview us, I want to make sure that I'm making it as easy on you as possible. So I appreciate that
Absolutely.
you took the time to read it.
And and I appreciate that you guys reached out to me, because that's usually it's usually the other way around. So it's usually when I
Yeah,
have like a band that reaches out to me, I'm just like, oh my God, somebody knows I exist. Uh
yeah. Well, the cool thing about networking is usually all you have to do is ask.
that's it. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I so best alternative band. It's so weird saying alternative band because it's just
it is. Yeah,
it's
it's a weird
I
category
I
too because we are definitely the heaviest band by far out of all the other bands.
right.
The one band is basically like a pop band. So
And
alternative is a very loose term in this
that's
category.
that like whenever I hear alternative. So it's like I went to school for I have a bachelor in arts, but main focus was radio, television, and film, mainly just radio side stuff. I was on my college radio station. I was the local, I was the metal guy. I was
Yeah,
the guy who played all the scary music according to all of the girls in the station. I but like they all played the alternative stuff. I
yeah,
and all the alternative stuff to me was like spoons and washboards and flower children and like hippy dippy kind of stuff,
yeah,
acoustic guitars. The guy who has the the creaky voice at a high pitch, like, just that. And
Yeah, it's a weird category. It ranges everywhere from it ranges everywhere from who does
because like there's alternative,
Riptide?
there's
Who does the song Riptide? Well, on the
I f-
fucking ukulele.
I forget
Van
off the
Joyce.
top.
Yeah, it ranges everywhere
Okay.
from like Van Joyce to Linkin Park to fucking Lemonade Mouth. It's such a weird label. It's kind of just like it's kind of like an umbrella term at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I always looked at it and I'm like, look, like I know that there's like alternative metal, but it's like it's metal. Like I
yeah,
don't I don't throw alt metal in like what I would consider the genre alternative to be.
yeah.
Because I like I said, alternative, like the majority of it is all just like it and no, like full intention to insult the alternative scene. It is just kind of like not the metal side of it, obviously, because like I consider that to be its own thing under
Yeah.
under metal. Alternative as a whole to me, I just look at it going, it's like you're this, but you don't want to say you're this. It is just
To
kind
some
of how I
extent. So I
viewed.
think a lot of artists struggle with, and I actually have a trick around this. I think a lot of artists struggle with trying to identify themselves because
Uh,
either they don't know what they are or they don't want to put a label on themselves because they want to be perfectly unique in every way. So a lot of times when you ask artists like, "Oh, what genre are you?" or "What band like do you sound like?" or something like that, like they a lot of times be like, "Oh, well, I'm kind of like a lot of genres. I don't really sound like anyone," kind of thing. So the way that I
and
get
and I
around that
and
is
I'm
I
glad you get
ask
around it.
people. The way I get around, I love asking people, "Who would you tour with?"
Right. Because
Yes.
my biggest thing is like it because I've gotten this response from like a lot of
Yeah.
these kind of guys where it's just like, oh well, I just don't want to it and I can't fathom, the
Yeah.
there's
So I
so
would
much
say
music out
if
there.
you are just doing music for the full love of it and just to dick around, have fun, do it as a hobby, play, make some songs with your friends, it's perfectly fine to do whatever you want. Have no title, have no genre, have no label, whatever you need. But if you want to make a career out of it, you need to be marketable. And in order to be marketable, people marketing you need to know what they're selling because that's what it
Yes.
comes down
And I
to. They,
mean
they
like
need to know what the package is. So that's why I tell people all the time, like, oh, if you enjoy bands like Disturbed, Chevelle, Avenged Sevenfold, check us out. You will
right.
love what we do.
And I
I've even
mean like
gone
don't
so far to call ourselves the Wish.com Disturbed because I know other people are going to say it, and it's funny. I'm a bald dude with piercings who sings with that specific kind of raspy tone during certain parts of the song, and I'm very rhythmic too. So I understand I'm going to be compared to that. So why not lean into that a little bit? It's okay. My ego isn't so big that I'm gonna say, "Oh no, what I'm doing has never been done before." Like, who fucking cares? Just have fun doing it, but understand that it's okay to have those labels because they will benefit. Excuse me, they will benefit you.
right. So I mean like two things. One, you say you're like, disturbed. I was like, you know what? I for your benefit only, I wouldn't lean too far into it because of the
Yeah, the
what.
political things and everything. Actually, we had a crazy thing happen on TikTok. Like last week, this woman, so I also reach out to a lot of people asking them to make videos,
Yeah.
using our music. That's one thing that I do regularly is I'll send a message saying like, hey, I found your content. I love it. I was wondering if you would be willing to make a video using our new song in it. Here's the link to it, or here's where it's available, blah, blah, blah. Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks. Um, this woman said, "Yeah, no problem. I'll do something." She made a video, and the hook was crazy. It was, since we don't fuck with Disturbed anymore, check out this band, Kissing Lilith. And the comments were just flooded with like 500 comments like, "Oh, this band's awesome. Oh, I still love Disturbed. Oh, fuck Disturbed. Oh, these guys are cool. Oh, it's a Witch.com version." Oh, it was just so crazy. And I just started going through and started messaging, just started replying to them. We're like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much. Hey, so glad you like the song." Hey, just every positive one I said, I don't care about the negative ones. We're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. But every positive comments, absolutely reaching out. "Hey, so glad you enjoyed it. We have a new song coming out in February. Come check it out." Like, And then we just gained probably a couple hundred followers from that one post. So
Right.
even in that scenario, with the right marketing, leaning into the similarities benefited us so much because we're not a political band. We're not very political people.
And
We
that's
write
and that's what
music
I was getting
about,
at.
yeah. Well, we write music about true experiences that we have had that were traumatic, stressful, made us feel alone, made us feel small, made us feel weak, made us feel vulnerable. We write about those topics so that way other people know we see you, we hear you, we are you, we understand you're not alone. It's okay to feel how you feel, and it will get better. I promise you that. That's the voice that we want to be. We don't want to be, we have no real interest in being the voice of politics. There's so many of those right now, and none of them are doing really any good. Like we don't
No.
care. We care about what we can control and what we understand and can contribute to. And that is our lives, our emotions, and the people around us that we see struggling with the same things. That's probably the most amazing thing about this community is I've had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I in the very beginning, I had a gentleman reach out and say, "Hey, I don't know what to do right now. I'm gonna be losing my apartment soon. My girlfriend broke up with me. I'm probably gonna lose my job. I'm just so beaten down. I heard your song about your breakup, and I heard your story about your crazy ex, and can you give me any advice?" And honestly, I can't remember what exactly I said to him. It was probably something very simple of like, just start small. Start with the things that you can control. Start going to the gym if you can. Go regularly. Start figuring out goals at work. Start setting financial goals. Just very basic things. 6 months later, he reached out to me again out of the blue. He said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I commented on one of your videos. And I just want to give you an update on how I'm doing." I said, "Hey, man, I do remember you. Were going through that really bad breakup and you were worried about losing your job. What's going on, man? How have you been?" He said, "I got over my ex. I'm not dating anymore, but I'm okay being single. I've renewed my lease on my apartment, and I just got a raise at my job." And I was on the brink of tears reading that. And he goes, "Thank you for helping me through this." I said, "No, fuck me, dude. I didn't do a damn thing. This was all you. I am touched that I helped inspire you in some way or that I gave you some kind of grounds to collect yourself, but you did all the work. You need to be proud of yourself. You and I have never gone to the bar together. We don't know each other. I am just beyond touched that you've allowed me to be part of your story in any way. So thank you for that." And it's not even just weekly, it's almost daily now that I get people messaging me saying, "Hey, I'm going through this right now," or "Hey, I got through this right now." I've had people talk to me about losing jobs. I've had people talk to me about suicide attempts. I've had people talk to me about losing loved ones and spouses and just all kinds of horrible things. But then they always follow up with, "Hey, today was a better day. Things aren't perfect, but they're getting better. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening." Because that's all people want is to be heard. People want to be seen. And that's what we're trying to provide. We're trying to inspire people to know that things do get better, that you're not alone, that we do see you. If people want to message me and tell me what their goals are, I would love to hear them. They want to tell me updates on their goals or things they fell back on, but they want to get back into. I'd love to hear those. It's part of what I live for doing this.
I think that's a great thing, man. I really do. Cause like I've had similar experiences just doing shit like this, where like, you just get like the random individual that reaches out to you and just is like, hey, like, it's you almost like it's that duality. You're like, why is this person reaching out to me? But it's also just like, wow, like this person just is like reaching out to me. It's just
Yep.
like I'm because it's like I'm not the I'm I'm terrible at this kind of stuff. So I just try to kind of like, I don't tell them like start small, do I'm just like, well, look, like, I can only apply uh things that I know from like stuff that I've
Yep.
learned throughout my own life. Like going all the way back to like when I was on my college radio station, we would get jail mail all the fucking time. And there would always be this one guy, his name was like Dave from GW Hill, which is like one of the
Yep.
prisons over in Philadelphia. And he'd always just be like, I want to hear this track. Thank you for, because every week I would just play him music for, he'd send me what he wanted to hear. I'd get it the next week. I'd play it for him. So like one day, like this is actually the week of my graduation. He
Yeah.
goes, instead of getting a letter or instead of having one of his family members text me, I get a text message to our text message alert system, not to my personal phone. That would have been wild. Uh, that would have been wild.
That would have been
To
crazy.
our text alert system. Hey, this is Dave at GW Hill. I I'm out now. I want to thank you for always playing music for me, getting me through like, the worst part of my entire life. I'm on
Yeah.
the I'm, dedicating the rest of my life now that I'm out to, become better so that I don't go back. But like, he's just like, I want to thank you for, getting me through one of the roughest spots of like, my entire fucking life. And that kind of stuff, you know, all I'm sitting here
Yeah.
doing is playing fucking music for somebody at the end of the day, or all you're doing is like you're making music and somebody's feeling it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't
and
think
it's
most people don't realize how powerful hope is. There
Yeah,
was a there was a very and I for those listening, please use this information, for good and to make someone else's day better. There was a very grim, gruesome, disgusting experiment done where they took rats and they would put them in water that was too deep for them, and the rat would swim, and they time how long it would take for it to stop swimming and drown. And it was usually
right.
around, the 5, maybe 10 minute mark. Well, then the next time they ran the experiment, they put the rats in, and just before they went under, they would pull the rats out. They'd give them like an hour to rest, and then they put the rats back in. And because they took them out the first time, that gave the rats hope.
Yeah,
And the rats went hours swimming, just stationary doggy paddling for hours because of that little bit of hope that eventually they would get out.
yeah,
Giving somebody hope is one of the most powerful things that you can do. And again, I do hope anyone listening to this takes that information and just realizes how much good they can do in the world with that information. You playing those songs costs you nothing. It's very easy, very simple. It's just press and play, loading up a track, but it made the entire difference to that man to where he was able to find the strength within him to change his life for the better. That's amazing. That's unbelievable. And
yeah,
the amount of effort for you, it was minimum, but the amount of effort for him and the amount of impact was unfathomable.
yep. And I always told people, I was like, you know what? If I ever go to prison, I think I'm going to be all right.
Try not to go to prison. No. Yeah. Well, remember
But
earlier when I said that I want to do like everything? Going to prison, it's not really
not
like
one of
high
them.
up on that list. It's not really like something I think about. So
Right. No, it's not on my list of things to do. I'm just saying,
yeah,
I think you guys, from what you've telling me, man, I think you guys got like the best kind of outlook of like almost any band I've sat down here and interviewed, and I've been interviewing a lot of bands for a long time. And just hearing like, your message of like, hope and picking people back up and like, being almost being like, the light in the dark kind of thing.
yeah,
Uh
trying to
it's
be. I mean, it's
That's awesome.
crazy world right now. So
It is. And like how you say you don't want to be the political band. I think there's too many people that got their head in all of this shit right now, and
yeah.
everybody's so blinded by, bullshit
Well, the
that's out
truth
of their
is, at the end of the day, I'm
control.
not educated enough to be in a
And
political band. And
that's
I don't mean I'm stupid by any means. I
no,
don't keep up enough with
I
what's
don't
going
think
on in
I
order to fill that role.
right. And I don't think any individual is stupid. The
No.
individual is only as ignorant as they allow themselves to be. Every
Yeah.
individual has the capacity to be informed. The problem is most people fall into the sheep category. And a lot of people
Mhm.
kind of just go on with what other people tell them, or they don't really look it up for themselves, even though we have the Library of Alexandria in our pockets half the time. Uh,
Yeah.
it's the more we have more information than we've ever had, and yet people are more ignorant than they've ever been. And
Yes.
that's, you know,
Well, that's because most
that's
of our
an
technology is used for porn and cat videos. And if we're being honest, probably a lot more porn than
yes,
cat videos.
a lot more porn than cat videos,
Yeah,
unfortunately. But
yeah,
what I'm trying to get at is like, I try to stay informed as much as I can. I am by no means an expert on anything. I try to look at everything as rationally as possible.
yeah.
We are in such a wild time where, you just need the guys that are just going to be like, you know what? I It's going to be okay. Fuck all this shit. You know, let's focus on getting you to tomorrow. The one thing that it resonates with me is it kind of goes back to my love of Motorhead, my love of Lemmy Kilmister. There's a quote that he did where he said, you know, have fun, don't hurt each other, and screw politics. Believe in rock and roll. It's the only religion that'll never let you down. And I think you guys are kind of representing that shit to me. You guys don't sound like Motorhead by any means. So I'm like, that's not where I'm going. I'm saying you guys are kind of, you know, exuding that aura though. You're exuding that, you know, come
Yeah.
together. Rock and roll is going to bring us together. It's not going to save everybody, but it's not going to let us down like everything else is going to be. Uh, so
Absolutely. Thank you.
I think you guys are doing a great thing. I've enjoyed this chat wholeheartently. I love the
Thank
energy
you.
that you brought to it. I love if there's one thing I'll remember is just your smile throughout the entire thing, man. Like, you are, for all of the crazy shit that you told me this entire interview, you are a very jovial dude on the other side of
Yeah.
it. So it's just like I'm glad that that is something that has happened, because most people who have gone through all that shit, you know, I don't think they would have this jovial, look the entire
I
time.
mean, that's the duality of it, you know. I want to live a very extraordinary, amazing life, which means, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go through some really horrific things that I would never even think of at the time. So
Yep.
I've seen and I've gone through some pretty awful shit, but overall, I'm very I'm not a religious man, but I am very blessed and I'm
Yep.
very grateful for everything that I have, and I'm very excited to see where the road takes me through the ups and the downs.
I am as well. I'm very excited to see where Kissing Lilith goes from here. You guys all together, your individual journeys and the journey that you guys have in your band, in your music group, and the joy and the light and, the camaraderie that it's going to bring so many people. I can't wait to see what it does. You guys have a new track out right now, Kiss Me, Kill Me. I hope everybody goes and they check it out. I actually got around to listening to it earlier today. I think it's absolutely insane.
Thank
Um,
you.
when when this gets posted, I'll post a link to it so that people can also go check that track out as well. But it's available everywhere,
Thank you.
iTunes,
We actually, I
Spotify.
just got an email the other day. I don't know if you saw the post. We are getting played on 107.3 Alternative Cleveland, which is Cleveland's big alternative radio station. We're getting played on January 16th, Friday at 9 p.m. for their live and local show.
Well,
Kiss Me Kill Me will get played.
that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I did not see that post, but now that I know
yeah,
that it exists, I will share that on my page just to,
yeah.
help you guys out a little bit, make sure
Just,
more people
just
know.
blown away by that, man. Like I remember being 15 years old, 14 years old, with my best friend Michael at the time, before he passed away. I remember sitting in his living room playing video games, playing some bootlegged version of Call of Duty, and listening to System of a Down radio video, and just him looking at me because he knew that I was an entertainer and I loved music and everything, and I wanted to be a musician. He looks at me, he's like, "Dude, how crazy would it be if you were on the radio one day?"
Well,
And
now you are.
yeah, yeah, he's with me in spirit, but to have such a clear memory of that, and then to wake up and see that email, it's unreal. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to wake up from the dream.
Right.
This is
Well, I don't think you're going to wake up from the dream, my friend. I think you're in reality. I think it's here. And you know what? As one who is unfortunately also part of reality, I can tell you you're in it. And I'm glad that, that's awesome, dude. That's your music's going to be on the actual radio and not just, in somebody's playlist. Like on the actual radio, you're going to get and here's Kissing Lilith with their track, Kiss Me, Kill Me you know,
yeah,
on an
107.3.
actual fucking radio. 107.3, brother. That's awesome, man. So,
Yeah.
let's end that. Let's end this on that high note, man. Congratulations. Love you guys' stuff. Thank you so much for reaching out. This has been a wonderful chat, Gavin. It's been wonderful to sit here and get to know you guys, get to know your band. And
Thank you for having me. I'd love
it's
to
a
be back.
shame. Absolutely. I hope to have you all back next time and not just,
Yes.
not just you. I hope to get to interview and meet the rest of the bandmates. And
Yeah.
listen, man, any help I can give you guys, just feel free to reach out. I'll always be playing your music here on my station. Now that I know you guys, I know you guys are legit. You guys are up to snuff. You
Thank
passed
you.
this, you passed the sniff test here on Metal for the Masses. So
Yeah,
congratulations.
love pass and test. Yeah, I mean, the last thing that I would want to say to anyone in your community who has enjoyed this, and feel free to reach out. If you follow, I will be reaching out as long as your account is a private. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok. We do have a Facebook page. I'm not on there terribly much. We do have a YouTube. I'm not on there terribly much. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. Our handle is always Kissing Lilith, except for on TikTok, it is Kissing Lilith New Metal Band. But still, Kissing Lilith is the main tag for all of our music and everything. Right now, our biggest goal is to win the Cleveland Music Awards. I mentioned earlier that the last band I was in fired me right after they had won because they said that I was not good enough for the next level. So it has been a vendetta of mine to win the Cleveland Music Awards, and now we are in the Cleveland Music Awards for the same category, Best Alternative Band. The way that people can vote, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But if you do it, it would mean the absolute world to me. You have to download the No Cover app on the App Store. You make a profile with your face on it, with your profile picture, and then there's a little plus sign at the bottom to add votes. And then as soon as you do that, you just click Kissing Lilith. We're at the top of the page, Best Alternative Band. You click on that, and that votes for us. If you're able to do that, the No Cover app, make a profile really quick, and vote for us. That would mean the absolute world.
Do it. Help out the metal community. Help out the little guys. These guys need your help. Vote for
We did.
Kissing Lilith.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys make it, man. I really do. I hope you guys win. I hope you have a great, vengeance speech prepared, but no, not really. It's not about
Thanks.
that. It's not about that. Let's not but no, I hope
I'm
that
gonna walk up there. I'm gonna open up my shirt and be like, "So the last band that I was in told me that I wasn't good enough to win it."
right. Am I good enough now?
Yeah, you see this trope. No.
Right. I think as hilarious as that would be. But no, I
Yeah.
hope you win. I really do. I hope that more people see, the awesomeness of Kissing Lilith. And I hope that equates to votes. I hope that equates to you winning and
Thank you. I hope
more
we win too,
more
but no matter what
success.
happens, we're not slowing down. We're not stopping. We got a lot of awesome stuff planned, and
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
thank you for being a part of the journey with us now.
Absolutely. Thank you for reaching out. All righty,
Yeah,
brother. Is there anything else that you want to say before? I mean, we got everything here, but like,
we got everything. Yeah, yeah. The new song "What to Die For" with the music video that should be out mid-February. Follow us to stay updated. I post regularly.
fuck yeah. You've been tuned into another awesome episode of Metal for the Masses.